the M word, I didn't realize, is such a big issue with the public relations fraternity, because it's often a very intangible that we are looking at when we are looking at communication, especially in today's day and age when there's so many. Aseem, is a lot of that measurement happening under the radar with agencies like yours, which are giving these kind of inputs? Because a lot of companies now are really measuring everything that they put out there, because there are no, avenues to kind of miss it.
So one development that has happened in the last couple of years is that there's a renewed confidence with which PR professionals are demanding a seat at the board, at the table. And when you do that, you have to speak the same language what the board understands. And to do that, there is a renewed interest in measurement. How can we show that the money that we're asking for is going to give us the right results? And the first thing that we've seen here is that people have started to go back and set their objectives in the best possible way. Your objectives need to be measurable, and only then will you be able to go and do measurement of your PR programs. But in India, traditional media is still very important, while we've talked a lot about social and online. And one of the things that we have as a legacy is the problem of using advertising value equivalents for measuring the work of PR, which we believe now is not a good practice.
What is the metrics that has to be used?
Okay, so now what we're looking at is there's an association called Association for Measurement and Evaluation of Communication. It's an international association, and people got together and worked on new frameworks that could be used to measure the value of PR. And the answer is that there is no one measure which can be used for everything, like Atul said. What you need to do is, there is a continuum of various metrics that you can use depending on the objective that you've set for your program. Sure. You may be working for a program wherein you're trying to improve or help improve sales. At the same time, you could be working on a program wherein the objective is to minimize the risk involved in an activity. So depending on the objective that you've set, you are able to set various metrics. And these metrics are now being connected with the overall marketing ADA program that people used to see. We need to create awareness, we need to create interest, we need to get the support of people, and finally lead to an action, which is the actual business outcome that we're looking for.
Atul, how much of it is going into this digital sphere, the social networking sphere? Because in India, and I think Carson also made that point, where every company, communication depends on what stage of the company you're in, what stage of the interaction you are in with your stakeholders. So in India, is social still a new fad, a new baby, and something that companies are still grappling?
It's still a new baby. In fact, what we see more and more companies doing now is starting to listen to what's happening out there. They may not be actively involved or engaging right now, but everybody has started listening. We've had a slightly different experience here. We realized that when we talk to clients, the objectives that they set for themselves initially are not really measurable. And to be measurable, an objective needs to have clearly defined who are we trying to target, what are we trying to change in their behavior, by when are we trying to change this behavior, and by how much. Sure. If these four elements are missing, then it becomes very, very difficult to measure any PR program objective.
Just trying to tie what's been said. I don't think we got a response out whether budgets went up or not.
No, actually, you're interested in that.
Sorry, I don't want to take off your job, but I'll give you a personal example. I was in London during the recession working with BT, and what we saw is no one really believed the PR team or the marketing team. What happened is a lot more, not resources, but a lot more budgets went to the PR team, because as a part of what is happening in Western economies, there was an emerging markets investment by a lot of multinationals. So I don't know if both gentlemen will still agree that the budgets went up during the recession. So I'd like to get a response, A. B, what's happened after that in terms of what's happened to the PR function is that it's become a lot more strategic, because no one really wants to listen to the marketing department. Now, with PR becoming more strategic, the question I'd like to ask them is, once the function becomes strategic, is measurement becoming even more stringent? Because are we clashing with the marketing department now?
Yes, we've seen our clients do that. In fact, our clients would come back and say, the question that I have for you is, how can I show the return on investment for the money that my firm is going to put into the PR program? Can you help me show the value of the work? And a lot of times we receive this request with a specific question saying, I want this return to be showed in rupees, in dollars. Because that's how the advertising or the marketing function does that.
Sure,
So,
but that's here, right? Now, and I understand.